This video is made possible by North Naperville Autos. If you're looking for a quality used car in the Chicagoland area, North Naperville Autos is here to help. Browse their inventory at northnapervilleautos.com and drive home in a new vehicle today. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2009 Mini Cooper S. Up front is a 1.6 liter turbocharged inline 4, and down below is a 6-speed manual transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this here Mini Cooper because these cars are just little boxes of joy. They look cute and they're a lot bigger on the inside than what you would think. Another reason I'm excited to be driving this here 09 Mini Cooper S is because earlier this year, I actually reviewed a different Mini Cooper S, and I wasn't super happy with it. So hopefully, I'm opening my eyes yet again in a completely different light to see if I was justified or just having a bad day. But before we get on with the rest of the video, if you are looking to help out the channel, there are some awesome links from our sponsors in the description below. There's an OBD2 Bluetooth sensor that will pair to your smartphone. There are con plates, which is a suction cup license plate mount for the front of your vehicle. And there's Cash for Cars if you're looking to sell your vehicle. Thank you to our sponsors, but let's get on with the video. Let's get back to that 1.6 liter turbocharged inline 4. Well, it has a twin scroll turbo, which helps the engine produce 172 horsepower and 177 foot-pounds of torque, which isn't crazy, but it makes the Mini Cooper extremely fun to drive. Like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed manual transmission. Now, one complaint I'd have right off the bat is the clutch feel. The clutch is very, very stiff. However, it almost feels like uncharacteristically stiff, so it might just be this particular car that I'm driving. And the shifter feel also isn't fantastic. It doesn't feel super notchy, but that's the same with Mini Cooper completely across the board. Last but not least, the Mini Cooper S is front wheel drive. So let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I actually only have one gauge. It's just my tachometer in front of me. Now, it also gives me outside temperature, time of day, as well as miles till empty, my odometer, and things like that. But I just get one simple little gauge in front of me. Now, of course, that is very characteristic of Mini as well. They've kind of always done this. On the steering wheel, on the left, I have some skip track and volume options. And on the right, I have my cruise control options. To the left of me, I just have a climate control vent and a fog light switch for those added rally style fog lights you'll see on the front. And then on the door, I just have my power mirror options. I do have a handle to get in and out, and I have this sort of checkered flag design. But besides that, nothing really going on. Then moving into the center, we have that giant gauge that I was talking about. This is my speedometer, my fuel, as well as my radio is actually incorporated into this giant speedometer, which is pretty funny. I have some favorite buttons and menu, audio, music, things like that. Down below that, I do have my Mini Boost CD, as well as my climate controls. The climate controls feel very weird. They have these sort of spin dials, which I'm not a big fan of. I think they feel kind of weird, but I do have like rear defrosters and AC and all that. And then I have some fighter jet style toggle gauges down below for my windows, fog lights, and central locking. Moving down to the center, I do have two cup holders and a 12-volt outlet / cigarette lighter, but let's get to those cup holders. Let's do a big friggin' bottle test here in the Mini Cooper. And like the other Mini Cooper S I did, it fails the big friggin' bottle test. Then I have the handbrake, and now I have the seats. The seats are nice and comfortable. They are fabric, and me being a big guy, I fit in the seats here. Which you would think a Mini Cooper, you know, big guy, little jacket syndrome, but no, I actually am very, very comfortable in this interior, which now is no longer a shock to me. But back in the day, when I first sat in a Mini Cooper, I was like, oh, I thought that was just a piece of apparel, but no, it's actually a full functioning car. Speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back, sort of the 2009 Mini Cooper S. It's not good back here. If I were to flip up the seat like normal, my legs would probably be amputated, which would suck because I don't know how I would drive this car home in that condition. These are not good. Kids will fit back here fine, whatever. I'm not a child. I'm not a small person. I fully recognize that. These back seats are not for me. Let's take a quick look at the trunk, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so we're on the back of the Mini Cooper S. I apologize if the wind is a little noisy, but pop it open here, and we have a very, very small compartment. However, we actually get a 12-volt outlet back here, which most cars way larger than this don't even have. Train, will you shut up, please? Shut up. Anyway, trunk small. Now we gotta talk about the looks. I love the striping on this Mini Cooper S. I love the added fog lights in the center. I think overall this is a very, very attractive, fun, cool, just cute car. I think it overall really captures the style of the older Minis, especially with those fog lights and striping. I think this is a very good tribute to the Minis of yesteryear in terms of the looks department. However, let's get on to my final thoughts. Well, I originally disliked the 2009 Mini Cooper S because everything in here felt plasticky and slippery and not very comfortable. And to be fair, this is a different car and some of those things have been addressed. I don't feel as loose in here. But now having driven a 1988 Mini City, back when Mini Coopers were built by the Rover company in Britain, that car was such a blast. It was a little go-kart with a wheel at either corner, a little 4-speed, and that was it. But this, I don't know. The shifting throw is way too heavy for a little car like this, and the clutch is way too heavy. The steering is way too heavy. This isn't a large car. It should not take much effort to put it into gear and blast it around a corner. And yet this car is making me work for it in all the wrong ways. Let me clarify. I enjoy low-powered, fun cars because you have to work for it in terms of the engine. You really have to rev it out. You got to give it the beans. That's a fun form of working for it. But this car, I'm working hard just to get it into gear. I'm working hard to shift it, to steer it. That's not where the effort should be. That's like saying, oh, this new video game is really hard, it's challenging. But the hard and challenging part is that it won't load half the time. Well, that's not fun. A video game should be fun because it takes all you've got, and you have to ride that line and give it your all, and sometimes it works, and sometimes you might fail and have to start over. But that's half the fun, is starting over and saying, all right, this time, I'm gonna do it a little bit differently. This feels like I'm having a hiccup at the loading screen. I know these cars are fun, and they are fun, but just all the tactile feedback I'm getting in here isn't fun. That, and you have to pair this with the fact that Mini Coopers need a lot of maintenance. They're not super reliable. True story, I was at a bar one night ordering some drinks, and I had an RX-7 t-shirt on, and there was a girl sitting there, and she said, oh, are you into cars? And I said, I am. And she goes, oh, I have a Mini Cooper. And I asked, how often is it in the shop? And she goes, well, and she paused. She said, oh, it's in the shop right now. And I said, of course it is. And as I said, of course it is, the bartender handed me my drinks and I walked away. That's a true story. Anyone I've ever met with a modern BMW built Mini Cooper also has a desk drawer full of receipts and invoices, and sometimes even IOUs. So pair those maintenance nightmare stories I've heard with a subpar driving feel. Unfortunately, I think my first assessment of the Mini Cooper S from 2009 was accurate. I don't want it to be accurate. I really want to like these cars, but I just don't. I just don't. And that's sad. I hope someone out there has a modified late 2000s Mini Cooper S that I can drive, that has a better, lighter shifter, that has a better, lighter clutch, that changes up the steering a little bit. Maybe a gutted interior Mini Cooper S. Maybe that's the winning ticket. Or maybe the more modern ones are better. I've driven a 2019 and I love that one. I don't know. I'm not willing to give up on the Mini Cooper S quite yet. But I have to say that driving this car has not helped my idea of it, unfortunately. Huge thank you to North Naperville Autos for letting me take out their 2009 Mini Cooper S. This is eye-opening. I always love adding to my repertoire of vehicles, and I'm happy that they were able to give me another shot at the Mini Cooper S. This is one of their used vehicles. They have tons of used vehicles on the lot. They are Carfax certified, as well as they do also offer financing. So if that's something you would like to do, you can most certainly do that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.